What is up, gamers? It's first time streamer, long time player, zacpz here, ready to bring you some hot action from the Ruby bracket round 2. We have got Tempokin playing on the left, that's Twompopkin, versus someone going by the name of Golden StoneyMaloney. They are on Discord. I've not watched this set yet, so let's just dive straight into the action with game 1. Okay, two fire types at lead. So we've got Blaziken on the left, Charizard on the right. Zard obviously faster, gonna rain down a Dragon Claw into Thunder Punch from Blaziken. Oh, and a good read on the switch as Stoney goes Flygon. Outspeeds the Blaziken for a kill. Blaziken's got some damage off and died like it generally does. In, threatening an Ice Beam. But he goes Substitute. Is he going to have lefties? No, he's not. Endeavor Swampert is the set. Thought he was going to sub down there so that he could, hit that thing with an Endeavor and hope to clean it afterwards. This could be a tight matchup, though. Endeavor Swamp at 1.5 speed after it hits its Salak Berry gets up to 360 speed, whereas the Starmie drops out at 361, so Swampert only wins this exchange if this is offensive Starmie in the long run. Okay, he's going to switch now to Snorlax. Tempokin avoiding the Hydro Pump, keeping his Lax super healthy. Stoney's going to have to switch here. And Skarm comes in, takes a Body Slam and avoids Paralysis. Okay, easy Spike turn now. Easy Spike turn as Tempokin goes for the Magna. Mag's gonna come in. Is it gonna kill? No, Protect there to get the extra 1% of leftovers, and the Skarm drops. Flygon in. Oh, Mence is the answer. As Flygon EQs. Yep, Ment's going to bring down its attack and avoid its attack anyway. Nice double out to Snorlax there. The Flygon goes Dragon Claw. Now that's a mixed Flygon, which means if it's going up against a Mence, I'm not sure it's going to have enough speed to actually hit it, or enough special attack to actually hit it hard enough. That is a move you probably want to hit Salamancer on the switch rather than leaving yourself in. Okay, Earthquake comes in at -1 attack, which gives Snorlax a real easy curse here. Snorlax with Skarm out the way could boost up and clean at this point. Yep, and the Body Slam comes down on the Charizard, which drops. Okay, Zapdos in here, presumably hoping to tank a hit and roar. Let's see if it can do so. Tanks a hit, avoids the para, and roars. Swampert out now. Now this isn't lefties. If this Zap has HP Grass, this is dropping this, no question. Swampert outspeeds. And the Zapdos Baton passes out. That is low 240 speed on the Zapdos. How pretty unusual. You'd never really want to drop it below 244. Tyranitar. Oh, the Swampert reading well there, the Hydro Pump, and getting an Endeavor off, coming through. Like I said, this will come down to speed tiers now. If that's an offensive max speed Starmie, it's going to win this exchange. If it's dropped even 2 points of speed or on modest or bulky, then the Swampert should win through here. The Swampert's faster, but Swampert misses as the Starmie heals. Probably going to see now another Endeavor come down from Swampert as Starmie finishes it off. And that's exactly what we see. Okay, the Starmie is low though. I think and a Metagross comes in. Starmie can heal here, but if Metas can either threaten Boom or Choice Band Earthquake. Oh, it's going Agility. Ooh. Going to outspeed the Zap and the Flygon now, but the Starmie might not drop to one hit. Especially not if it's a resisted Meteor Mash. Metagross isn't going to want to eat that, and it doesn't. So, as long as this mash connects, there we go. You've got to feel a bit sorry for StoneyMaloney or Kodnialko there on losing that one out. And the mash comes in again and gets the raise. This could be game over. Yep, it's the arrow, which takes the meteor mash straight to the face. Unparalleled accuracy from this Metagross following through, as we'll probably see a final explosion or rock slide to see out the game. Okay, that was not the most even of matches. There was quite a good matchup and getting ahead there from Tempokin. Once the Skarm was down, there was no proper normal resist to abate Snorlax, and everything was chipped enough into Metagross range. After a couple of fortuitous misses, it just cleaned through. We're on 1-0 Tempokin versus Stoney. Let's have a look at game 2. Okay, what are we going to see here? Okay, lead Tyranitar versus lead Skarmory. Nothing unusual here. Ooh, focus punch straight into a roar. Clearly, maybe paranoid of a mag coming in, hence the early roar, and that could either be, you know, a physical Tyranitar with a lot of bulk, or possibly even an invested Pursuit car there, raining down a focus punch. I think it's probably just a Pursuit car focus punch, judging from the roll, but I could be wrong. Skarm protecting on the Wisp there. We know this is Wispgar as Blissey comes in to beat the status on a Thunderbolt. Even nicer for the Bliss. We're just seeing a standard Skarm Bliss looking TSS on the right hand side, and unless it's looking like a fairly standard TSS on the left as well. Sand and Spikes teams as the Blissey paralyzes the Skarmory, which could become relevant in following turns. Gengar in on Skarm on this side now. That is Golden Elko threatening Tempokin. He pivots to Flygon. Okay, we could be seeing some kind of Superman here from Tempokin. Going to want to pivot back out the way now on the Ice Punch as Jirachi comes in. Ooh, and is instantly frozen. Jirachi on this team on the left is likely playing, likely a fat Jirachi playing that healer role using Wish Pass, which isn't going to be an avenue available now, at least until he thaws. Tyranitar coming down now, as to be expected from the team on the right. As we get a Dragon Dance. Now, unless this is DD Ice Beam Tar, Flygon can probably sit on this almost all day. Flygons on these team are defensive. As the Rock Slide comes down, Dragon Dance, that's a pretty good mid-round into Flygon. And there's a second Dragon Dance on the Earthquake. He's still probably got a hope for a critical hit with the Brick Break here, though. He switches out. He didn't fancy the bold strategy. Flygon Earthquakes again. Skarm comes in for free. We're probably going to see Stoney get down that first layer of spikes. Nope, we get a Protect. Does this Skarmory even have spikes? He's had 2 opportunities. Okay, the Jirachi comes in on the Toxic turn. They're really not prioritising spikes here, but clearly the thinking from Tempokin is just that. Bring it in for long enough and you should get a Thaw on a passive Skarmory, as we finally see the first layer of spikes come down. Okay, Swampert in on Jirachi. As the Jirachi Calm Mind. So that's a Calm Mind and Fire Punch Joan. So there's a possibility it's a Super Rachi with a HP Grass, but still a possibility, but the switch out tells us maybe not. We're seeing a standard looking Big 5 here from Stoney. As the Giga drains on the Swampert. Taken 1 Hydro Pump, it's taken 2, but it's not. We're going to see a switch here? No, we're going to see a Protect. This could be close. Giga doesn't kill here, but Hydro Pump does. Ice Beam may even. And we are going to see Claydol last. I was expecting Starmie, maybe a Moltres, but not the most conventional pick for a last on TSS Claydol, but clearly not awful. With the Gengar chip down already, you use Psychic to threaten the KO, and you try to get your spin off. It can be a risky play, because if the Gengar explodes, then you've got no spinner. Flygon in, putting down the Toxic, and the Claydol rains a Toxic back. This is an unconventional Claydol set on an unconventional Claydol slot. That being said, with the most conventional 5 mons you could see beside it, there we go, the Rapid Spin comes off, Skarmory comes in. Claydol's on a ticking timer now, unless it's running refresh. Okay, back to Pert. Skarm getting spikes down, 1-1 for spikes on the field. Overall, it feels a bit like Tempokin's ahead here, but maybe I spoke too soon. The crit Hydro into full power is not what you want to be seeing there. Yep, checked up. Clearly not so paranoid of paralysis that you're going to switch in case of full power again. Waste another Hydro on the Swampert. 4 remaining. Probably hoping for another one there, so pressure would take it down to 2, but Zapdos last coming in. Given the team composition, we could probably see this is going to be a pretty fat rest Zapdos. Might be carrying Grass, might be carrying Toxic, might be carrying Sleep Talk, but it's definitely carrying Thunderbolt, and it's definitely carrying Roar. Yeah, definitely a very fat Zapdos, as it eats not only 1 Hydro, but 2 power points with pressure. Low HP Tyranitar here, Zapdos in. Are we going to see a switch? Probably should switch. Going for the T-Bolt and coming up short. That's one way to lose your rest, Zapdos. It'll sit on a swamp all day, but it will not eat Tyranitar's rock slides. Okay, Gengar instantly threatening now. The fastest thing on either team. And the Safe Bliss switch comes in on the Giga Drain. Is Tempokin going to explode here, or is he going to realise that he needs his Garth to push the fact further down the game? He is going to make the explosion, leaving Bliss on 3%, which will of course mean it dies to sand, and the Tyranitar comes in. Okay, Blissey down, Swamp in. As his penultimate Hydro Pump fails to hit the Skarmory. Skarm hits Tech here and he greeds the Hydro. Oh, that is extremely unlucky. Not only did this guy miss these last 2, but he missed them the last game on Starmie Hydro Pump as well. That is not what you want from StoneyMaloney. On the right there. Okay. Swampert eats a Toxic too. That is out of Hydro. He's going to struggle to leverage this as well as he was before. Claydol coming in, spinning on the Paralysis. Paralysis went first there. I mean, he was trying to click Protect. Spikes in on the Tyranitar. Heatar healing up a little bit. What are we going to see? We're going to see a Dragon Dance. Oh, into a Toxic to an already revealed lefties Tyranitar. That's really going to put it on the timer. A Protect here, or maybe a switch to Flygon. Oof, would really stall out a turn. But a Roar is going to drag that in with 12.5% less health next time, leaving it only 1 turn on the field. Speaking of on a timer, here's the Claydol. Protect actually coming off this time for the Skarmory. And Rapid Spin, of course, being blocked by the Protect. Claydol continuing to be chipped. Yep, and the double Protect comes off. And the explosion. That desperate to get rid of Skarm. 50-50 chance, of course, for that to work on the dual Protect. It was a worthwhile play, assuming spin, but it coming off on explosion. Yeah, that's gotta hurt. Skarm now drops to Gengar. Jirachi comes back in. We know that this is a Carmine Jirachi with Fire Punch, but the other 2 moves are as yet unrevealed. Tyranitar comes in for what we can assume is its last turn of the game. Likely going to be outsped and killed by the Jirachi here. On a wish comes off. The Tyranitar Earthquakes. The CM Wish here is going to be Fire Grass, Fire Psychic, possibly even Fire Ice or Fire Thunderbolt. Fire Punch, not very effective, but more than effective enough for a 1 HP opponent. As the Wish brings it back to full health. The only option there is to roar. Yep, there we see Skarmory enough HP to eat 1. But this is likely a Pursuit-tar here, which has Fire Blast. We know it has Focus Punch. This could clean house now. Ooh, it's not a Pursuit-tar. BKC-tar, I do apologise. Probably running Rock Slide, Earthquake, Bug, and Focus Punch. As we see the Toxic come down on it, and the Focus Punch hits Skarm for a crit and drop it. Okay, Swamp, the natural Tyranitar answer comes in now. Realistically, Tempokin's got to try and stall this out a little, just to make sure that the Flygon and the Jirachi don't just drop quick attack. Ooh. Trying to make a big read there, catch the Flygon on the switch with the Toxic, but just going to lose HP, lose the Swampert. I think the only route to victory there was leveraging the Swampert correctly, but with Toxic, well, no, it wasn't a mono, but that's a Toxic over Ice Beam. It couldn't have hit Flygon anyway, not for anything that would have OHKO'd it. As the Gengar rains down a Thunderbolt, Tyranitar rains down a Rock Slide, leaving Gengar on a smidge of health, but are some ridiculous hacks right now. It's game over. Honest, Tempokin played some quite tight games there, brought an offense game 1 and a Superman game 2, but it definitely get the better of the RNG. You gotta feel a bit bad for Stoney there, playing as Gold Niklo, playing as the gold character. Luck just really wasn't favouring them. Anyway, I'll be back on your screens for another set soon. Don't forget to subscribe to Jim Cool and keep hanging on for ADV revival content. I'll leave you now with the play-out music.